This video is starting with page W1-14, moving on to the second part of this chapter. First thing we're going to talk about is moving text, and we're going to try using moving text with drag and drop. So what you do is you select the text that you want to move, you're going to click and hold, and then you're going to drag to your desired location. So you notice this black line is kind of showing you where it's going to go. So that moved that from the top to the bottom. Now you can also move text using cut and paste. So let's say I'm going to use the same text. Select the text you want to move. You're going to click the cut button up here. And you notice it's gone. And then you're going to click where you want it to go. And we can click the paste button. And it pastes it in. Another option you can do is you select the text you want to use. Hit Control C for copy, X for cut. And then Control V for paste. You can also copy text using drag and drop. So again, select the text that you want to copy. You're going to hold Control. You're going to click and hold your text. And then you're going to drag. And again, you'll notice you see that black line. And so what that did is it copied the same text and put it down here. It didn't delete it, it just made a replication of it. Now we're going to talk about some paste text and paste options. So you notice that there's this other little window here. If you click, it gives you different options. There's keep source formatting. This retains the formatting from the source document. There is also merge formatting. This merges your formatting from your source document and your current document. And then you can keep text only. So this just pastes your unformatted text. Now we didn't copy from a different document, so it doesn't really matter in this one. Also notice that we have a clipboard that popped up when I started copying and pasting. You can open this by clicking this launcher here. So let's say it wasn't open. It opens it up for you. You notice that it gives you these different options here. So this is stuff I've copied. And if I click somewhere and I click this copied option, it pastes it in automatically for me. You can also paste all. So if I had a bunch of stuff in here, I could paste everything that I wanted. There's also other options, and I can clear all when I don't want anything in there anymore. When I'm all done, I can hit the X to close it. Some other things we're going to talk about is undo, redo, and repeat changes. Up here, this is the quick access toolbar. You'll notice that these options are here. So here's undo, repeat, and redo will show up after an undo. Undo will undo the last action you did. You can do the drop down, it will show actions that I've done. So let's say I wanted to go back quite a bit, I could do that. The redo button, so let's say I undo my paste. Now you notice it's changed to redo. Again, it has a drop down. Once I redo something, it goes back to a repeat. So this is saying I can't repeat. Repeat is activated only when you are applying formatting. You can also use Control Z to undo and Control Y to redo. Now let's talk about some fonts. There's different kinds of fonts. So let's say we want to have a serif font. So one example of a serif font is Times New Roman. Serif fonts are, let me see if I can zoom in. You notice it has these little things on the end of the letters, like tails and things. These are your serifs. If you want a non-serif font, go back to the Calibri. And now you see there's nothing on the instance letters. This is a non-serif. You also notice that its font size up here shows it's 11 points. So I can change the point size. I can also change the font of anything. You can also increase and decrease by using these here. So if I want to increase by 1. Now there's also font styles. You see all these examples here. So you can use bold, you can do italics, you can underline. Again, more options for underlining. You can do a strike through. These are for subscripts and superscripts. There's text effects options, which we'll go over later. You can highlight. Again, you can change the color of the highlight. You can change the font color as well. You can also change the case. So this button here is your change case button. So you notice there's sentence case, which means it's like a sentence, so it capitalizes the first word. Lowercase makes everything lowercase. Uppercase makes everything uppercase. Capitalize each word, just like it says. It capitalizes each word, like if you're using a title. And then there's toggle case, which is the opposite of sentence case. So you notice that now it makes the capital letters lowercase and my lowercase letters capital. Now you can also open the font dialog box by clicking this launcher under font. And you see you have a lot more options as well as ones you already used. So you can change the font here, the font size, font style, color, and again all the effects I mentioned earlier. There's also an advanced tab. So this provides us with other options like character spacing. So I can scale it. Now notice there's a preview down here. So let's say I scale so it makes it closer together. You can do spacing, expanded, or condensed. You can also choose the position of where it is on the line. Again, you have other point options here. You can kern, which is the spaces between characters. When you're set what you want, you can click OK, and you can see the applied changes. There's also text effects options. So you notice when I click this, actually let's go in here. So you can do different text fills. You can do gradient, no fill. You can change the transparency. You can also change the text outline. If you go to the effects, you can do shadows, change transparency and size, choose the color. Again, there's a reflection option, glow options, soft edges, and 3D formats. You can also see these options in here, they kind of give you a preview. Again, all these are as well. Another neat thing is called the Format Painter button. What this does is it copies the format you just did to something. So let's say right here, I want to copy this formatting. So I go to this Format Painter button in the clipboard, I click it once, and then I click where I want it to apply to. So it applied the same effects that are applied to this. Now you notice that if I do it again, nothing happens. So if I copy the thing I want to format, if I double click the painter button, and then I can click multiple options. When I'm done, I can either click the painter button again, or I can hit escape to turn it off. If I want to clear formatting, I can click this button up here, which is clear all formatting, and remove it just for that one. If I want to change default font and font sizes, I can select the text, open up my launcher, click the font tab, and you can click or set your settings up here, all that you want. And you're going to choose set as default. And this will make your document all that defaulted things you chose. And you click OK. Now you're going to do pause and practice 1-2. It starts on W1-25.